Hello everyone, my name's Richard Watson and this is Anglais the Easy Way. Today I thought I would try to combine two things into some amazing podcast, talking both about a song called The Reason by Hoobastank from a 2003 album called The Reason, and also talking about how exactly we go about learning real English from songs. So what you'll find is that the way people say things in songs just doesn't really correspond to the way that French people say them and the way French people think about things. So in a way that's great because it means you can just pick something up from a song and start using it. You don't need to know what kind of grammar it is. You don't need to know anything really about it except that it works and that English speakers use it and that you can do the same. In any language, in any context, when you're talking to non-native speakers, you'll hear them say things that any native speaker would never say. For example, you can hear French people say, "It's depend of the person." Now, I know you lot listening to this are all really good at English, and you know we don't say that. We don't say it is depend, we say it depends on the person. So there's one of the greatest difficulties about learning any language, is knowing what you're supposed to say and how you're supposed to say it. So knowing how you're supposed to say it and how you should pronounce it, how you can build your sentence and what order you put your words, knowing which tense to use, knowing which preposition to use. I could go on. And often it feels like you're walking in a minefield and that every step and every decision could end in disaster. So I've got some great news for you. And as I've told you many times on this podcast, you don't need to think like that. What you can do is just listen to how English people say things and then start doing the same thing. But you have to practice it. So I'm going to give you some sentences now which are not great. English sentences which no English person would say. So be careful, you don't want to learn these ones. I'm just using them to illustrate a point. For example, I wish I succeed the exam. Now remember, these are not good sentences. Be careful not to use this. No English person would say this. Here's another one. I want to continue to learn. It's not bad, but you wouldn't hear it that much. It was not my intention to interrupt. Now, maybe if you were around 200 years ago, you might hear that, but nobody would really say that today. I want to have a coffee before going to the shop. Grammatically, it's fine, but you wouldn't hear it that often, and I'll explain why in a minute. When I was in America, I would like to buy a baseball cap. And the problem is that I don't like red wine. Now, if those were too fast for you, I invite you to go back and listen to them again. Now, all of those sentences have a problem. So if you go back and look at the mistakes that I gave you at the beginning, we had, I wish I succeed the exam. No, we don't say that. I wish is going to be followed by a past tense, like I wish I had an umbrella. I wish I didn't do these things. Or if you want to talk about the past, I wish I had known that before. Again, not very difficult, but you do have to know. I want to continue to learn. Okay, go for I want to continue learning. Much better. It was not my intention to interrupt. You should say I didn't mean to interrupt. The verb to mean is very useful. I want to have a coffee before going to the shop. Well, put a subject, conjugate your verb. I want to have a coffee before I go to the shop. What about the one, when I was in America, I would like to buy a baseball cap. Yeah, would like is now, present, like I would like a coffee. You can't use it for the past. When I was in America, I wanted to buy a baseball cap. And the last one, the problem is that I don't like red wine. We don't need two subjects. The problem is that I don't like red wine. Anyway, go and listen a couple of times, practice them, practice saying them, you've got them. Now, if we look at a song called The Reason by Hoobastank, you'll find the right way of saying all of those things inside the song. So I'm going to go back and basically read through the lyrics of the song. It's not very complicated, it's not very long. And let's see if we can pick out the right way of saying all those things that I just said wrong. This is a very popular song. I'm sure you know it. If you don't know it just by the name, if you heard it, I'm sure you'd know it. Here are the lyrics. I'm not a perfect person. There's many things I wish I didn't do. Now, notice we don't use I wish with the present. I wish I didn't do. I wish I had more time. That's now. But I continue learning. Yeah, we prefer I continue learning over I continued to learn. I never meant to do those things to you. I'm not going to sing this song, but I'm sure you'd recognize it. I never meant to do those things to you. Yeah, this verb to mean. We don't say I have the intention. We say I mean. And in the past, I meant. Very, very common verb in English. Not very common when French people speak English. And so I have to say before I go. Notice they didn't say I have to say before going, which sounds extremely formal in English. We prefer to put a subject and then conjugate a verb. Before I go, or in the past, before I went. So let's go back a little bit. I'm not a perfect person. There's many things I wish I didn't do. But I continue learning. I never meant to do those things to you. And so I have to say before I go that I just want you to know. Yeah, it's okay to use the verb want. You don't have to say would like each time. I found a reason for me to change who I used to be. I know French people don't like using I used to be, but it works very well. A reason to start over new, and the reason is you. Notice we didn't say the reason it's you, as so many French people would. And all the pain I put you through, I wish that I could take it away. There's many things I didn't do. There we are. Go through that song a few times, pick out those kind of structures, and you'll see that they're very easy to use. There's nothing stopping you. I mean, I've told you this many times in different podcasts, but pick it up, run with it, don't analyze it, and don't think of the grammar. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. I'll catch you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.